rocketgrabquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Fat Matt's Barbecue, Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Frankenmuth Corn Maze, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies with areas of patchy fog. It is 65 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Governor Gretchen Whitmer says Michigan will pay higher prevailing projects 3 years after Republican legislators repealed a long-standing law that required better pay. The governor said Thursday the cancellation of the law doesn't preclude her from implementing a prevailing wage policy for state contracts. She calls it the right policy and one that benefits workers and the government. The announcement is drawing criticism from conservative groups and an association of non-union contractors that funded a ballot initiative that enabled lawmakers to rescind the law. They say Whitmer's move is illegal. A lawsuit appears likely. After a contentious debate, the state Senate approved a bill that would make state IDs free. The bill is attached to a voter reform package that would require everyone who votes in person to have an ID. Democrats opposed the bill, saying it was a reaction to the lie that the election was stolen. Republican Ed McBroom has this response.
To continually beat this drum that says, oh, somehow by suggesting you're invalidating your own election is nonsense. If that's the case, we could never vote for any reforms whatsoever.
The measure now moves on to the state house. Funeral services will be held today at Holy Family Catholic Church at 1525 South Washington Avenue in Saginaw for a Navy sailor from Carlton Township. 23-year-old Logan William Leem was killed in an accident while stationed in Shibuya, Japan on September 18th. A Carleton High School's graduate in 2017, Leem joined the Navy in April 2020. He is survived by his parents, brothers, and a sister. The funeral will begin at 11 a.m. Leem will be interred at Mount Olivet Cemetery. Full military honors will conclude the ceremony. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. It's time to warm up your home, and we don't mean the temperature. We're talking about making all year round with upgrades like window treatments, quartz or laminate countertops, hardwood, tile, luxury vinyl flooring, carpeting, and much more. We handle the best brands like Mohawk, Shaw, Hunter Douglas window treatments, Harndine, Armstrong, and so many more. To put it all together, our experienced design team at Warden Interior will help you find just the right look, catering to your personal taste for unique designs that will warm your home in any season. And our master installers make sure all the work is done right. See more at Warden Interiors, 355 North Main Street, to see all we can do to make your home shine this fall and every season afterwards. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A federal appeals court has ruled in favor of athletes at Western Michigan University. They sued to play sports without getting a COVID-19 vaccination, citing religious reasons. The appeals court declined to freeze a decision by a judge who said WMU's vaccine policy likely violates the constitutional right to follow a religion. The appeals court says at least 16 athletes sought the religious exemption, but were ignored or denied. Western Michigan can require them to wear a mask or be regularly tested for COVID-19 under an injunction from a judge in Grand Rapids. In their lawsuit, the athletes say they are devoted Christians who believe the Bible and their faith preclude them from getting a COVID-19 vaccination. A $1 million lawsuit is filed after a teen dies at a Kalamazoo academy. Here's Ingrid Kelly with this report.
Attorney Jeffrey Feiger has filed a lawsuit against the owner of Lakeside Academy in Kalamazoo. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of the family of a teen who died after being restrained by academy staff. The $50 million lawsuit alleges staffers suffocated and killed Cornelius Frederick and violated the 16-year-old's constitutional rights. The lawsuit comes nearly a year and a half after the teen had a heart attack as he was being restrained by school staff for throwing a sandwich. Ingrid Kelly, Michigan News Network.
A Muskegon man is in custody after the shooting of a state trooper during a traffic stop in Northwest Ohio. The trooper pulled over a vehicle for speeding on I-75 near Findlay around 1:30 a.m. Thursday. That's when the driver, 42-year-old Robert Tremaine Hathorn, allegedly scuffled with the trooper, grabbing the trooper's gun and shot him. The trooper was taken to a hospital. His injuries are not considered life-threatening. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Fog possible in parts of the area today, mainly before noon. Otherwise, overcast, showers likely, storms also possible. Highs will top out near 74 degrees. Winds southeast around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudiness remains in place with more showers. Storms still possible. Lows drop to 60, and winds will be fairly light. Saturday, partly sunny, chance for afternoon showers. Highs head back into the 70s. And then any showers in early Saturday night, and lows fall back to 62. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now it's 64.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, and good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW on this Friday, gateway to the weekend. I hope a good one for you. A lot going on today and tomorrow and throughout the weekend. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we will chat with State Rep Annette Glenn. We'll have open phones, by the way, both hours after our guests. And at 11 o'clock this morning, we will be chatting with Angie from Great Gifts, something new to talk about. But to begin this hour, we're going to talk about something happening later on this morning at Horizons Conference Center as the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce presents its Community Leadership Awards. And to chat with us about that this morning is the president of the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. We say good morning to Veronica Horn. Morning, V.
Good morning, Art. Good morning to your listeners. It's a busy day. I'm here at Horizons enjoying some of their absolutely phenomenal coffee.
Yes, I will rush over when I'm done so that I can be there to enjoy some of that too. This is
technology is so wonderful, Art. You know, we spent breakfast together on the CAC breakfast, listening to
that's right.
John Kaczynski talk about the census, and now we're here virtually with one another, but I will see you in person later this morning.
Look forward to it. All right, let's talk about the Community Leadership Awards. These go back quite a way, don't they?
They do. You know, in fact, I was sitting here looking at my notes, and I had to add up, not all of the awards we present go all the way back to the beginning, but the very earliest award that we gave was our community, Robert Lifetime Community Service Award recipients. That goes back. So the Saginaw County Chamber has been giving out awards for 50, I'm going to say 56, not 57, because we were unable to hold them last year because of COVID.
Yeah, but it's been continuous other than COVID pretty much.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so the awards, I know that the awards list has expanded. That is the number of awards you give. So let's run down them because the list is public, so we're not giving away any secrets when we tell who won them this year. They will be presented with their awards this afternoon. Let us start with the Samuel H. Shaheen Vision of Free Enterprise Award.
Yeah, that is a great award given to, hang on here, my notes are messed up.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it is given to an individual who exemplifies qualities of good business practice, ethical behavior, innovative thinking, and strong corporate citizenship. So that was named in legacy after Dr. Sam Shaheen, who has done so much for this community and started, this fabulous corporation of Shaheen Development. This year's winner is Jeff McNally from McNally Nimmergood in Bridgeport. And ironically, he and his family and Dr. Shaheen worked together many, many years ago. Now, McNally does heavy equipment. They do leasing and sale of heavy equipment, and they do some work out there. So, Jeff has been the president and CEO since 2012 after the passing of his father, Bill. But he's just a very worthy recipient, great chamber member, and a good friend of Dr. Shaheen.
And like the Shaheen family, very much philanthropists in the region.
They are. They have been around for many, many years. I mean, they started in, 1940s. 1946, the company was founded. So these are, typically a company that receives, or an individual that receives this Lifetime Achievement Award, have been legacy families of Saginaw, and most of whom are still around. So we're so grateful for that, not just entrepreneurialism, but the depth of, commitment to the Saginaw County region.
Then we move on to the Outstanding Small Business.
That is one of our newer awards, and we recognized McNally Nimmergood didn't start out as a huge conglomerate. They started out as a small business. So it was our pleasure to begin handing out the Outstanding Business Award. That's been around since 2012. This year is being awarded Lehman's Green Apple Barn. And, that their family has been around for 125 years. But this generation of the Lehman's Green Apple Barn expanded the original footprint from 14 acres to 100 acre total. 10 acres adding, and they have just done an outstanding job of really diversifying. We all know when I was a kid, you went to the apple orchard to pick apples and take them home and can them.
Yep.
It's an experience now. There are so many more things that you can do, hay rides and just gift shops and homemade foods, pies and jams. So they have done an outstanding job, and we wanted to recognize them this year.
Yeah, they had a car show recently, too. We live right down the road. We're not that far from them down the road.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So these are more experienced endeavors than they are just an apple orchard now.
All right, let's move to the next two awards. I'm familiar with them because I've been blessed to receive them. And I looked at the list of names, and it's an impressive list of people. First, the Robert Albert Lifetime Community Service Award. Who gets that this year?
Well, Robert H. Albert is. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. That is going to someone that we all know and love, and talk about in a more than just going to dine, but the whole experience. It is going to our matriarch, Dorothy Zender.
Yeah.
And we're just,
also known as the Energizer Bunny. I don't know how she does it. That's amazing.
You know what? She's kind of second mom to Ken and me, because we actually worked at Bavarian and restaurants under Tiny and Dorothy, Judy and Don, Bill and Karen. And that's where Ken and I met and eventually married.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Dorothy Zender. No, I did not know that. So Dorothy wins that award. The next one, which is my favorite, mainly because I think I have one of the last eagle statues that were given out, was the Spirit of Saginaw Award.
Yes, the Spirit of Saginaw Award is given to someone who, over the last 18 months or so, has really made an impact on the Saginaw County community. And we just are so thrilled to award that this year to Evelyn McGovern. And she may not be a name that a lot of your listeners are familiar with. I've known Evelyn for over 20 years. She's was an employee of the city of Saginaw, but in her downtime, she saw a real need for young women, Black women in the community. And so she founded a group called Women of Colors. And it was meant to bring everyone to the table, everyone together, and work for the betterment of primarily young women in Saginaw County to mentor. I mean, she has created so many programs under Women of Colors. I mean, she has essentially a STEM program where young people from grades 2 till 12 can get mentored and tutored in the sciences. She's run her coat drive, Warm a Child for Winter, and this is any child in the city of Saginaw, and they collect new or gently used coats for kids that can't afford it otherwise. She's got a program for youth prevention life skills that they have volunteer, certified coaches work with the groups. And then she does to tell their story so that they can relate to the kids to see how they started and what got them to where they were in life, and just encourage these young girls to be responsible, to self-manage, and to see that there is a future for them. So Evelyn is just one of those quiet leaders that has had a huge impact on our youth. So we're really thrilled to give her that.
All right, Veronica, hang on. We'll get to the last one, which I really want to talk about. But I have to take a break, and we will come back. We're talking to Veronica Horn. She's at Verizon Conference Center getting ready for the Community Awards luncheon today from the Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. Time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company in downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is child, C-H-I-L-D. I may be grown up, but sometimes I act like a child. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 older to play. One winner given each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's the Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company on WSGW. We'll be back with Veronica Horn after these notes.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
We're sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a disappointing reading on the job market for Employment rate declined to 4.8%. The number of new jobs created was much weaker than forecast, just 194,000. Investors were expecting the job market to start improving again after summer COVID outbreaks and Hurricane Ida. Apple and other tech companies will be paying more taxes in Europe. Ireland, a low-tax country with European headquarters for Apple and other tech giants, has decided to join the Global Tax Agreement, which raises European corporate taxes to 15%. There's another sign demand for air travel is picking up. A report from financial firm Raymond James says travel demand started in September. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you. Oh, I'm ready! Visit Cintas.com. Workday.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage. Deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Download and get started with a risk-free bet of up to $5,000 and earn reward credits for sports tickets, dining, getaways, and more with every bet. Win or lose. Your app is ready, Emperor. T&C apply. Must be 21 plus.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Veronica Horn, president of Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. Today is their Community Awards Luncheon, and we saved one for the last, but certainly not the least. This is a fairly new award too, right? The Community Impact Award.
It is. You know, over the years, we would get nominations for some of the other awards, like Spirit of Saginaw, or some of these others that just they never fit. They never quite fit. And so we recognize the impact that our not-for-profits have on our community, whether it's arts, whether it's human services. I think our first award recipient was Ken Streeter from the Restoration.
Yep.
And so we created this category with the, let me describe the award to you. All we have to say, and it's inscribed on the award, is never doubt that one person can make a difference in their community. And so in looking at that, we have come up with some outstanding people that have really made a mark in the community. So this year's most deserved recipient is a longtime resident and face in Saginaw, Yoko Mosner.
Yay!
I know. I was so touched when she was voted to receive this award. So, we cannot doubt the impact that the Japanese tea garden, one of the few authentic tea houses in the country, and it has strengthened our relationship with Japan. The Tokushima is a sister city to Saginaw. We've had delegations come in, and our people have gone to Tokushima. So we're just thrilled at the impact that Yoko has had on the community. And if you've never been there, your readers, your listeners should definitely take the time to go to that tea house. It is an experience.
Now, the luncheon is today, and it's pretty much for chamber members who buy into the luncheon. But you get a huge crowd. Yeah, huge.
We do. We have about 450 coming today. That's just a touchdown, but we're still finding at our events, some people are still a little reticent to come. we will be live streaming it for certain, individuals. I know that the Center family is so large and far and wide, and some have to work. So we've made exceptions. So we're going to live stream for some of our award recipients and their families.
So let me ask you this, Veronica. You look at these awards, these are all people that have been nominated by someone in the community. What's the process? Let's look at two processes. One, the first process, how do you nominate someone? And then the second process, how do they get selected?
Well, you can go to our website, www.org, and we have the tabs will take you to awards. We have the applications, we have the criteria all listed there. So if you have a great idea to nominate someone, read the criteria and make sure you're under the right category for a particular award. Those are gathered, and we get letters of support, and the nominator needs to give us, why are you nominating this person? What have they done to deserve it? And then it's a board process. The board goes through these award nominees and very, diligently. Excuse me. And then it's a board of directors vote.
Well, I can tell you from experience, it's a humbling process. And, when you are selected and actually receive the award, I know my first reaction was, why me, with so many other people out there deserving.
Our award recipients, that's usually the reaction they get. These people love what they do, but it's our opportunity to thank them and to recognize them. And what better organization than the Chamber of Commerce to really see that through.
Yeah.
So this is our premier event. I love this event. It may be my favorite one of the year, just because we get to honor our community, our lifeblood.
Yeah. All right. Well, Veronica, we will see you later. I'm going to hustle over there as soon as I'm off the air and
okay.
Join.
Tell your listeners, don't tie you up with too many questions today. We need you right here.
I'll be out there.
You know what? And Art, congratulations to you. I mean, the impact that you have had on this community is far beyond what your listeners even know. The committees that you serve on, the volunteer hours that you put in on things. I mean,
well, I
most deserve, and you just continue to do that work.
I'm actually vicariously living through my father, because my father taught me that when you are in a community, don't just live in the community, be a part of the community. And I've lived by that. And he was, and we were in New York City, and he still managed to find things to do to support the community, if you will. Doesn't matter where you are.
We needed you here, and we're grateful for you. You can't leave, and you can't quit volunteering.
I can't quit work either. That's what my wife tells me. So here we are. All right, Veronica. Okay. See you later.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye now. Veronica Horn, president of Saginaw County Chamber of Commerce. Just some thoughts on this. And by the way, we'll have open lines now for the remainder of the hour. Anything you want to talk about, give us a call, 752-6111. Saginaw Bay City, outside of that area, 866-790-WSGW, or outside the state, 989-752-6111. There are lots of working parts in a community. There's the governmental side that runs the necessary services to provide to its citizens. There's the commercial or the work component of having jobs for its citizens. And then there is the volunteer component. And let me tell you, without the volunteer component, most communities would be empty shells, and very little would get done. The visionaries, the volunteers, the philanthropists who can find the time and resources to support their community make a community click. It's a lifeblood of a community. So when the Saginaw Chamber or the Bay Chamber or the Midland Area Business Alliance, all of them give out awards, they do so as just a small way of acknowledging what it takes to have a successful community. If you're retired and you're looking for something to do, there are tons of organizations out there that would be glad to have you, even if it was just an hour or two a week. One of the things that's happened in this area recently, regionally too, are the leadership classes. Leadership Saginaw, African American leadership, Hispanic American leadership. There's a Bay Area. There are leadership classes in all of the counties under the chamber auspices in the area. What that's done has taken young and up and coming leaders, put them through this course, which is multidisciplined. You talk about a number of things. And part of the responsibility is involvement in the community. So in the old days, I mean, when I got here in the 70s and I served on a lot of boards of directors, you saw the same people. You rotated from board to board to board. These were the people involved in the community. And this year you were on board X with so-and-so, and next year you're on board Y with the same so-and-sos, because it was the same people. And you began to wonder, well, what happens when this leadership expires? Who's going to replace them? Well, these leadership academies have come along now. And so now you find a whole new crop of people on these boards of directors, and enough of them that they don't have to rotate board to board to board to keep them filled up. That's been a huge plus in the lifeblood of Saginaw, Bay, Midland, you name it. Because now there is a younger crop of leaders coming up who take an interest in their community and provide the goods and services and all the things needed to make a community click. All right. So much for that. Again, open phones. We have a number of things to talk about. We will do that, but we're going to take a break first. We will be back after these notes.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Ticket on sale now at the Soaring Eagle at Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Just like spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. The way you do the things you do, the way you do all day. Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, the Temptations, and Four Tops. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com. Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-838-9247. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-838-9247. 800-838-9247. That's 800-838-9247. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 60, pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-844-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. Will offer rust proofing and undercoating.
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust proofing and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and lines wide open for you till 10 o'clock. After the 10 o'clock news, we'll talk to State Representative Annette Glenn for a little bit, and then we'll have more open phones. Wanted to bring this up. I wondered how long it would take for companies to do this. This company is not the first to do it, probably won't be the last. But it was announced yesterday that Tesla, Elon Musk's company, is moving their world headquarters from California to Austin, Texas. They're not the only one to leave California. Oracle and Hewlett-Packard decided to move last year. A lot of it has to do with taxes, with corporate regulations, and you name it. And a lot of it has to do with money. We have to admit that. Elon Musk moved his personal residence from California to Austin, Texas. And I think that one you can trace back to money. Musk was given an executive compensation package that will award him tons of stock based on the cap performance of Tesla. And they've been doing very, very well. And some of the options that he has expired this year. If he sells those options, he could possibly realize $20 billion with a B, $20 billion in proceeds. Well, California has some of the highest personal income tax rates in the country. Texas has no personal taxes, income taxes. So if he's looking at $20 billion and the taxes to be paid, I mean, he'd have to be crazy not to move. And these are all legal. This is not, doing anything illegal to hide yourself or hide your money or anything like that. It's perfectly legal. You can move from state to state in the United States, and you can do it for any reason you want. And if one of the reasons is to save money because you don't like the policies of state A and you move to state B, so be it. More power to him. He did say, though, they will continue expansion in California in their manufacturing. They're not moving their manufacturing plants, although they are building new ones outside of California, Austin being one of the areas. But there is a limit to space and a limit to employees. And here's why, and he brings this up, and this is a very, very interesting point. Elon Musk says, look, I could build a new plant and we could employ thousands of people. Problem is, I can't afford to pay them what they need to live in, say, San Francisco because of the cost of property. So the paradox is finding competent people to build those Teslas, yet how do you house them? How do you pay for that housing? So, I mean, some people I know are saying, oh, look, he can afford it. He's going to get $20 billion if he sells his options and all that. Yeah, all that's true. But the fact is that it's very, very expensive to live in California. Rent is outlandish. Property prices are outlandish. Taxes are outlandish. Regulation is just, stifling. I personally like visiting California for a few days and get out. I do not know why anyone would live in California. Now, I will tell you that some of the most beautiful places in the country, some of the greatest cities in the country are in California. Some of the best weather in the country is in California, like San Diego, where it's practically 70 degrees year round. There are a lot of reasons I understand to want to live by the ocean, to want to live in California for all of those reasons. But I'm not so sure the weight of all the negatives doesn't outweigh the positives as to why somebody would want to live in California. And there are other states like that. I'm a native New Yorker. I would not want to live in New York State. Not at all. If I did live in New York State, it would probably be in New York City, but that would be only because it's where I grew up. It's what I know. But I have no desire to live in New York State for the same reasons in California. But the beauty of being an American and living in this great country is that absolute freedom to choose where you live, what you do, how you save your money, how you spend your money. It's all part of being an American. Which is why a lot of us worry about what's happening in Washington and this huge movement toward progressive socialism. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that we already have some forms of socialism, but not to the degree of a typically socialist country. And with the government taking care of you from cradle to grave comes all kinds of responsibilities and regulations and what have you. And eventually you owe your allegiance to the government and nobody else. They tell you what to do and how to do it. And that's not the way we are in this country. That's not who we are. This country was made great by people who were visionaries, inventors, innovators, driven by capitalism, the desire to succeed and make money. There's nothing wrong with that. Somewhere along the line, it became a dirty word to be a, quote, corporation. Corporations aren't bad things. First of all, they employ millions and millions of people in this country. But the word corporate became a dirty word. It's too bad. We got to take a break, and we will be back with more lines open for you on the Art Lewis Show.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier. Any more perfect than that? Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
Do more in 2022 with the power of Terrasym by New Leaf Symbiotics. If you're looking for cutting-edge biological technology, Terrasym delivers. And we have the yield data to prove it. Our 2020 growing season saw a win rate of 79% for corn with a 4.5 bushel per acre advantage and 75% for soybeans with a 2.0 bushel per acre advantage. Terrasym increases yields, improves nutrient uptake. For over 4 years, we've partnered with growers for in-field testing to maximize yields and to keep advancing our technology. Use Terrasym alone or combine it with existing conventional agriculture products, traits and practices for more convenience, yield, and consistency. Plus, Terrasym is now available in our new hassle-free direct planter box application for both corn and soybeans. From planting to harvest, do more in 2022 with Terrasym by New Leaf Symbiotics. Learn more by visiting Terrasym2022.com.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom. The only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen temporal scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
All right, we're back. To our phones, Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Busy day.
I'm doing okay too.
Good.
I guess. Hey, I'm one of these unique individuals. I don't know what the deal is, but I get polled quite often recently by 2 polling organizations. I must check all the boxes or something. One of the outfits pays between $10 and $15 each time they ask me a whole bunch of questions. And
yeah, I get emails from them, but I don't participate.
You know, I have, and it's been an interesting experience. I don't mind it because like I said, the one outfit pays me, and it's interesting that I've been keeping track of one of these polling outfits. I won't name them or anything, but they came out with a polling on Biden, and he's down in the 40s now.
I've seen 38%.
Yeah, well, it's dropping precipitously, and I think a lot of it has to do with his ineptness. More and more people are discovering this, and it's not going well for him. So I just feel bad about it. But
why do you feel bad about it?
We made a mistake in this country.
Well, the people that voted for him would not agree with you. Although some of the trends show that that there are some Democrats unhappy with him too.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that. It's say something about that they could hear in our voices certain things that they were thinking that we were saying. If that individual would clean the wax out of his ears, I think he'd hear a lot clearer. I think he's got problems with his ears.
Well, listen, Al, we are a divided country. Yeah, and roughly half the people look at it one way and roughly half the people look at it another way. And there are probably half the people in the country that would totally agree with what you just said, and there's another half who thinks you're probably loony. That's the way it is.
I think the direction now, because like you said, some of the Democrats that voted for Biden are regretting their vote. So I think that pendulum that you talk about is kind of moving.
Well, but that's
different.
It's true of almost every political leader, and it's the nature of the beast. And it depends how the polls are formulated and how the questions are asked and all of that,
But on the catastrophic level of what Biden is doing between Afghanistan and all of the rest of the things that are popping up, it's not good.
I think Afghanistan was the turning point in his popularity.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right. People saw that big time that was a mishandled. You had the generals coming out and saying they told Biden. Told Biden.
Yeah.
What do you believe? Biden says he didn't hear it from them.
Yeah.
Well, he's
no.
got a hearing problem. So
because on the other issues, nobody expected him to be right down the middle as a moderate. Everyone knew there was going to be a lot of pressure from the progressive side of the party to put through these big spending plans. And here we are today.
Yeah,
Fortunately, they can't agree on them.
Yeah, and they've got Pelosi over a barrel because if she doesn't go with the four people, the squad, then she can't get anything done.
Yeah.
So they're really at a quandary with
She
this.
can't get anything done. She can't get anything done one way or another.
It is very interesting to watch.
Well, it is.
What a fiasco of a party to watch. I mean, this is a drinking game in the long term.
Well, just remember.
You could wake up and drink a little shot.
Yeah, just remember this. The other side would say exactly the same thing about the Republican side.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's how you view it, and that's what makes a horse race,
But
All right.
Republicans don't have to do anything. They just sit on their hands.
Right now.
They don't have to do a darn thing.
Right now.
Right now.
But when they're in power, that's a whole nother story.
I know.
So.
I agree with you. Have a nice morning and a nice weekend, sir.
Thanks, you too, Al. Bye-bye now. All right, we will take our last break here in a moment and head up toward the top of the hour. And then we'll be back. We'll be chatting with State Representative Annette Glenn for a few minutes. And we'll have more open phones after that, all ahead on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. So we will be back to close out this hour right after these notes.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes. Started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen temporal scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Big E's Sports Grill in Midland. You're going to get a $25 gift certificate for only $12.50. Big E's Sports Grill has 2 patios, 30 beers on tap, including the Moose Brew, half-pound prime Angus burgers, hand-tossed pizzas with the option of getting a cauliflower crust, and don't forget the nearly famous nacho, big enough for 2, but you might not want to share. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, that'll wrap up this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Our thanks to Veronica Horn for joining us early on. Coming up next hour, as I mentioned, State Representative Annette Glenn, and then we'll have more open phones. And on Focus today, we're going to focus on a shop called Great Gifts with Angie from Great Gifts. All that coming up, but the news is first from CBS and the local report. Then I'll be back with more right after the news. Talk to you then.
This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Cammie McCormick. A lackluster jobs report for September. 194,000 jobs added. That's half what was expected. Mark Hamrick of Bankrate.com.
Among sectors, leisure and hospitality, that includes bars and restaurants. We were hoping for a better showing there. Local and state education lost a substantial number of jobs, according to the report.
Among the findings of the list, moving to places sweltering due to climate change, and that's because so many people are looking for work. Jim Krasula reports.
Searing heat brought on by climate change isn't keeping people from moving to places like Phoenix or Las Vegas. Jobs are driving much of the growth in the Southwest, despite more and more days with temperatures well over 100 degrees. Federal officials have found that the nation's 5 fastest growing cities, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Houston, Fort Worth, and Seattle, are in areas at relatively high to very high risk of a natural disaster. They include stronger hurricanes, flooding, wildfires, all of which are associated with climate change.
COVID cases are dropping. The burnout among healthcare workers could be long-lasting, as Jonathan Vigliotti reports from Boise, Idaho.
We have now had to convert day surgery to a 4th intensive care unit space.
ICU Director Dr. Megan McInerney is normally the last person you want to meet at St. Alphonsus Hospital's growing COVID.
Enough with COVID to meet me, your chances of dying are pretty high.
About 50% of patients who have been intubated in recent months have died.
There are vaccines available to prevent the very scene before our eyes, and yet here we are.
Yes, right. It did not have to be this way.
And Dr. Rajesh Shah says it could be another holiday season without large family gatherings.
The issue is unvaccinated people, especially with Delta out there, are a real risk. They're a risk to themselves. They can cause breakthrough infections in vaccinated people. So I think people just need to get vaccinated, and I think gatherings should be all vaccinated if at all possible.
A federal judge has stepped in to block 3 Montana. Loyola law professor Laurie Levinson.
The federal judge there issued a preliminary injunction against Montana's laws that would have restricted abortions and not allow an abortion after the 20th week of pregnancy.
It also hindered access to abortion pills. Planned Parenthood filed suit against the state in August, arguing the new laws violate the Montana Constitution. There's been a blast at a mosque in northern Afghanistan. As many as 100 people were killed or wounded. There's been no claim of responsibility, but ISIS has a long history of attacking Shiites in the area. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps find great hires fast. Indeed is your all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
For eligible individuals 18 or older only, not available in Oregon or West Virginia. Results vary. See website for details and quote information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you might expect. The best hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week. No charge.
Ah, you people at Lively are wonderful.
With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Now get $100 off your hearing aids when you go to listenlively.com/radio. That's listenlively.com/radio. listenlively.com/radio.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The whole goal is to point people to something bigger.
What if the news was different and covered more than one side of the story? Not just the who or the what, but the why. What if it took you closer?
It's information and people want it.
So you can make up your own mind. What if the news lets you think for yourself? Introducing a new point of view. Yours. Newsy. Watch Newsy free on your TV. Learn more at newsy.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This News.
Cloudy skies, 66 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Perchep. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's decision to reinstate Michigan's prevailing wage law on state-funded construction projects is getting some opposition. Associated Builders and Contractors of Michigan released a statement calling it a broadside on Michigan workers. ABC President Jimmy Green said the governor's order is illegal and targets laws that protect workers and taxpayers. The Mackinac Center for Public Policy also released a statement saying the move favors unions over taxpayers. House Democrats say prevailing wage laws set wage and benefit floors for state-funded projects, guaranteeing higher wages for construction workers. Republican-sponsored legislation ended Michigan's prevailing wage law in 2018. Cancer patients at Mid-Michigan Health in Midland will benefit from a recent grant awarded to the Mid-Michigan, the American Cancer Society. The $7,500 grant will help alleviate the financial burden of transportation costs for those cancer patients who face barriers to transportation and attend cancer-related appointments between now and the end of this calendar year. The grant is part of a $2 million national transportation investment provided to health systems across the country. During 2020, the transportation program provided more than 71,000 rides. The Office of Congressman John Molinar is accepting applications from high school seniors for nominations to the U.S. Military Service Academies. Members of Congress nominate candidates for appointments to academies like West Point, the Annapolis Naval Academy, and the Merchant Marine Academy. Students and parents who are interested can find more information online at molinar.house.gov. Applications must be submitted by mail to Congressman John Molinar, 200 East Main Street, Suite 230, Midland, Michigan, 48640. The application deadline is October 2. USGW News Time, 10:07.
Hemlock Public School District is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education in mid-Michigan with programs from the cradle to early middle college, where hands-on and hard work never go out of style. Our mission and vision, here to serve, innovate, educate, and collaborate. For more information, call us at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. Or explore more at hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more. Plan benefits may vary.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has proposed spending $6.3 million in federal rescue funding to reduce a backlog of felony cases in Michigan courts that were caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The governor's office says there are more than 6,200 cases, the most common being gun cases, that have been awaiting adjudication for roughly 5 months or longer. The funding, if approved by the legislature, would be used to create virtual backlog reduction dockets teamed by visiting judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, court clerks, probation officers, and other staff. A complaint filed by the ACLU today with the Department of Justice. The American Civil Liberties Union wants an investigation into what they're calling a pattern of misconduct with police in Taylor.
Saying they have monitored the conduct of Taylor police officers for the past 5 years, the ACLU of Michigan Department of Justice calling for a federal review of what they allege to be numerous incidents of misconduct, often involving minority victims. Mark Fancher, a racial justice project attorney with the ACLU of Michigan, says the alleged misconduct has led to an escalation of what he called tense encounters, increasing the likelihood of violence.
All of this has caused serious physical and psychological injuries for Taylor residents and visitors. We turn to the Justice Department because we don't believe we can obtain a remedy by approaching local leadership in Taylor.
In response to the complaint, the city issued a statement saying it will cooperate as requested by the Department of Justice, and the city takes all matters of public concern seriously, especially any alleged improper police conduct. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's weatherology forecast. Cloudy today, areas of showers and a few thunderstorms. High of 73. Chance of showers and storms tonight, low near 61. And 75 on Saturday. Mainly cloudy. Chance of rain. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Low near 62. High of 79 on Sunday. Mainly cloudy, a few sunny breaks, strong south winds. Sunday night, mainly cloudy, low near 66. 81 on Columbus Day. Lots of clouds, a few sunny breaks. Monday night, cloudy. Chance of rain, low near 65. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now, 66.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online. .com.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Open phones later on in the hour, but we begin the hour talking to State Representative Annette Glenn. Representative Glenn, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Good to be on here with you.
Glad to be with you. I've missed you the last couple of times. Somebody else has been doing the show.
I think I've talked to just about all your guest hosts. So happy to talk with you.
Well, I'm glad you did. Before we get to some of the state topics here, I want to ask if you have seen any of the preliminary maps from the redistricting committee and what your thoughts are.
Well, I have people who email them to me all the time. As you watch, sometimes they change daily.
Right.
It's been interesting when they were focusing on communities of interest. Then the seat that I'm in currently took all of Midland and up into Beaver, which was most of all of the area that was most affected by the dam failures. And now they have taken that district, and it almost looks a little bit like a barbell. It is just the city of Midland, just US 10, not the townships on each side of US 10, and then down to Bay, and then over to Bay City. But that's based on partisan numbers, and I have to admit, I kind of chuckle over that. Gerrymandering.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to move a little bit away from the partisan, drawn by partisan, because that is the true definition of gerrymandering, which was what the initiative was meant to keep from happening.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it finally washes out. I don't know. The system we had, while wasn't perfect, we've lived with it for a long, long time, and it seemed to work. But the citizens of the state made the choice, so we have to live with it.
And other states have citizens initiatives, but not necessarily with all of this criteria with no definition necessarily mean.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a tough time of it ahead.
All right, let's take a look at some of the things happening in the state. For example, the budget, the Michigan budget. We now have one, even though I've always said it ought to be done in May. It took months and months to get it done. As an overview, what do you think of it?
I am a big proponent of having it done in May as well. I think that would be wonderful. Give everybody a lot of time to plan to make sure they can use the money most effectively with departments and how it's spread out. So it's everything. There's always things you like about it and things you don't like about it. It's here in the Eagle Department, and we were able to get additional money for not only dam safety, but also dam repair. So for me, that's a highlight and a super priority for this area. So that went from, I think the governor, I can't remember, her executive proposal was, things have changed so much, but we ended up with an additional $19 million in the budget, with $6 million of that for emergency dam safety fund. So anybody who sees things going crazy wrong, there's $6 million there that can be put in immediately. And then $13 million for a dam safety grant fund, so that can stability if they're trying to keep the maintenance and keep their community safe. So I do like that part about it.
So where are we in terms of rebuilding, restoring those dams, and thus eventually restoring the lakes?
The Four Lakes Task Force, in conjunction with the other lake associations, have been very active. I regularly get calls and stacks of letters from other members that they've all received hundreds and hundreds of letters from people in support of rebuilding. There is a 5-bill package that is introduced in both the House and the Senate. They're identical, very closely together to make sure as we meet with all the groups that are interested, all of the stakeholders, that we make tweaks and changes simultaneously. So once we're having hearings on the bills, they will move simultaneously and we will get them done quicker. At this point in time, we're anticipating attaching $500 million to that dam package, which would provide right around $225 million to restore the dams and to repair those 4 dams. So restore and repair, and then the rest will go into dam safety grant funds and other programs to help us. Like what we are suffering through.
Can some of that money come from the American Recovery Act?
I think that's where most of it's coming from. These are going to be federal dollars we're going to be using, not state dollars.
If that happens, and let's hope it does,
yes.
Can we move away from this notion of burdening the landowners with extra taxes? Because I know there was talk.
I believe is probably 95% of the whole purpose of this package is you do have homeowners. In some cases, I mean, we all know them. This is the 3rd and 4th generation that this lake home has had family reunions for the last 50, 60, 70, 80 years. And suddenly you show up and the dams fail and they're looking at $600-700 a month in additional taxes without this legislation. So this is really meant to keep their assessments really as close as possible, or maybe even exactly with what they are already paying, and use this to bring back the dams.
And I mean, realistically, do you have a time frame?
Oh, I have a wish list, and probably realistically. So, as you know, Senator Stum is the approach here in the Senate. All of the damage areas in his Senate seat. And the Speaker of the House has got areas that were certainly heavily damaged as well. So that means it will probably move quicker than some other pieces of legislation. We're also waiting for the forensic audit to come back. We don't want to be making recommendations and putting things into law, anything that's going to be in conflict with what they find. We want to make sure these are safe packages, that they're really a win-win for everybody. So I would hope we would see some movement before the end of the year. I certainly hear from the executive branch that they are supportive as well. In place, I do think they'll move fairly quickly.
And then you anticipated my next question. Do you think the governor would sign off on it? So the answer is yes. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, that is my anticipation. And definitely they are part of the conversation. Environment, Great Lakes and Energy is a part of it. The executive branch is part of it. Our drain commissioners, our communities. And once we start to have official hearings, we're accumulating a long list of people that want to be able to watch and be part of it. So we're trying to keep it as open and transparent and available to everybody, whether you want to come to Lansing or whether you want to watch via Zoom. We're going to be looking to make sure that's available to everybody.
The old cliche about representatives is you got to bring home the bacon. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's not so good. But in your case, in the city of Midland and in Midland County, there are a couple of organizations that are going to benefit. Midland Center for the Arts, for example.
Yes, this money, I think if I remember correctly, they suffered over $20 million in damage from the flood. So the $5 million for the Center for the Arts should help them recover. That is for that. And then our Midland Community Center is incredibly. They have high quality childcare in a facility that would never meet code. So this will help make sure that it's safe and continues to serve our community in the best way possible.
All right, let's move on to another topic that was brought to the forefront by COVID-19, and that's unemployment insurance. There has been a movement against the UIA, the agency itself, and its leadership for resignation. Where are we with it, and why do you want resignation?
Well, we in the House, we actually passed a resolution asking for the resignation of Director Olson. Director Gray, who left almost a year ago with an $86,000 hush money agreement to not talk about why he was asked to leave. It's been a year. We are still getting calls on a daily basis with individuals who have been waiting months and months and months for unemployment. We had one of our members say, my staff no longer works for me. They work for the unemployment agency. That's all they do all day long, which means nothing else that we're trying to work on do we have time to do. So it has been a frustrating thing, but we're also putting together a package that's in the works that would require some time frames. And there, who doesn't have maybe clear guidelines, so we're asking for 10 days that you either need to be able to give people a decision in 10 days or tell them why and what timeline that's going to be. So I pulled some numbers, Art, because a lot of we were hearing was you didn't give them enough money. So first I can say is the legislature, while I have been there, has given everything the governor has asked for the unemployment agency. And on top of that, there were two $14 million increases, so over $29 million to deal with additional staffing and IT and whatever they needed to get this out. And it's still not getting done, and it is absolutely heartbreaking to have somebody reach out who has been filing and in touch with our office and living on savings and now telling us they're about to lose their house if we can't get them their unemployment.
Yeah. And, at the same time, they were telling people, well, we need more time and we can't get you unemployment. They were pretty quick to send out letters saying you owe us because we overpaid you.
Yes.
Where is all of that?
Well, they have decided not to. If you filed in good faith, according to the information they gave you, then those people will not have to pay it back. If you filed fraudulently and purposely, you're going to have to pay it back.
Well,
that's only right.
And yeah, I was going to say everybody would agree with that. I mean, if you filed a fraudulent claim, you don't deserve the money. But it's the folks that did it in good faith, and now all of a sudden get letters that say you owe us $10,000. Help,
Well, and I think they were 7-page letters. I should have had somebody fax me one, but I heard they were 7-page letters that scared you to death. And then in very small print, it would say, but we're not going to pursue this.
Yeah. Gee, thanks.
So if you read the whole 7 pages without having a heart attack, then you called us to say, what does this mean? Because it has this one little after multiple pages of
Yeah. Well, I know a number of them are working through the courts too, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Be interesting to see what happens. So, what's next on the Glenn plate?
Well, I can tell you the dams will not come off my plate until they are back in full force. The other thing that has always been top of my list is openness and transparency in government. So we had a joint resolution which, if passed by 2/3 of both the House and the Senate, would put on the ballot for the people to vote on whether they wanted this or not. And the Senate passed it unanimously, and this was to allow state employees to talk to their legislators so that they could tell us when things were going wrong. Things with the dams are going wrong, things with Flint water are going wrong. And we did not get 2/3 in the House. So first term I served, the governor kind of stayed out of it, and we passed things like this pretty unanimously in both the House and the Senate, huge bipartisan, and then she vetoed them. This time she gets pretty active by the time they get to the House to make sure that they don't come to her for veto again. So we're not going to give up. We're going to continue to talk to her. When she was a legislator, she supported and sponsored these kinds of package employment.
Yep.
And putting COVID patients in nursing homes. The more I think about it, the more I wonder what she doesn't want us to know.
All right, last question, because I know you're on time constraint.
Yes.
There's been movement in the prevailing wage arena. What do you make of it?
I have to admit I am shocked and not shocked all at the same time. What I have seen is from other members and in our district that union members are migrating to the Republican Party. And it has it's been happening quicker because of the governor's opposition to Enbridge and the jobs that would provide. So I think as her numbers have dropped, she was looking for some way to try and keep them in the fold and bolster her support. But I pulled some old numbers because I was curious. So over 300 signatures were gathered to present to the legislature for them to vote on. Over 300 people signed that they wanted this repealed. And in looking those numbers up, Art, I found an old study by the Anderson Economic Group. And in the time that prevailing wage was in force, so before 18, and I think I started in 1965, they estimated that Michigan could have built 300 elementary schools with the extra money it cost from prevailing wage. So that's how much money the state would have saved, how much money the taxpayers would have saved. So not a good move, not good for the state. Competition is always good.
Legal challenges, undoubtedly.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I said over 300,000 signatures and in law, and she's looking for a workaround. But we've kind of gotten used to that. That's why I'm not shocked.
Well, listen, Representative Glenn, thank you for spending some time with us this morning, and we will do it again down the road.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, and I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. I was listening earlier this week, and I heard you made that Forbes list.
The what list?
The Forbes wealthiest men in America.
Yeah. Somehow I suspect your husband is in the background needling you on. I wish.
No, but I will tell him I had to give you a bedtime about this.
We appreciate it, Annette. Thank you very much, and say hi to your husband for me. I will. Thank you.
Will.
Yep. Bye-bye now. Representative Annette Glenn, we thank her for joining us here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Time to take a break. Before we do that, we're going to try and give away some money. The Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hesse Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word is beer, B-E-E-R. Enjoy a great football game and a cold beer. It's an Alpha company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's the Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hesse and Company on WSGW. We'll be back. Open phones ahead here on the Art Lewis Show.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The one is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened modestly higher, though the job market did not see the quick rebound expected in September. The U.S. economy added 194,000 new jobs last month. Economists were predicting 500,000, though it appears the Delta variant of COVID held back hiring. There also was a decline in public school employment. The unemployment rate declined to 4.8%, but that apparently reflects people who... The weaker report means the Federal Reserve can be cautious in deciding whether to pull back economic stimulus. Tesla shares are gaining after CEO Elon Musk decided to move the company's headquarters from Silicon Valley to Austin, Texas. Musk says Tesla will continue to expand in California. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Guys, Untuckit agrees it's finally time. Time to update our closets with new clothes we actually want to wear. Time to think about going back to the office or choosing a new way to work. Time to enjoy the best of fall, like long walks in the park and hot coffee on a brisk day. And that means it's time to look sharp and feel comfortable all day with Untuckit. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Discover the perfect fitting shirt today at untuckit.com. Use promo code TIME for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUD.
Caught by Casey Williams into the end zone. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
After falling short in the Battle of the Valleys, the SVSU Cardinals hope to regain their winning ways this Saturday evening when they visit Texas A&M Commerce at 4:30 p.m. on 100.5 News Radio WSGW. SVSU football is brought to you by Zach Schmid, your Edward Jones financial advisor, Forward Energy, United Financial Credit Union, and Medical Choices of Saginaw.
Saginaw Valley State University football is on WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. It is a Friday, gateway to a weekend, which reminds me, tomorrow from 8 to 11 a.m., we'll be broadcasting from Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm out on Portsmouth Road. And at 9 o'clock, our buddy Dick Graining from Neck to Line Watch and Clock will be with us. If you collect watches or you have watches and clocks that need repair, he can help you through it. That will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the Art Lewis Show. For today now, open lines for the remainder of the hour, right up through 11 o'clock. 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. Outside the state, 989-752-6111. Whatever you would like to talk about. It's always fun, particularly on a Friday as we head to the weekend. A lot of times the caller brings up a topic and it takes off and we end up talking about it. I want to go back to part of the conversation we had with Representative Glenn about the dams and their repair. There's been a lot of talk, very little action, except absolutely necessary action like the Route 30 bridge and things of that nature. If they can get this money, particularly the ARCA money from the federal government in place, it might accelerate the reconstruction of the dams, and thus the reintroduction of the lakes. There are several questions, though. If you have driven by, let's say you're on 10 and you cross over Sanford Lake, or if you've been up to Wixom Lake, you will note the bottomland has grown up and it's a jungle. What do they do with that first? Before they bring back the lakes, do they have to go in and scrub that? Should that all be taken down? What should happen? And I don't have the answer. I'm asking rhetorical questions in a way here. But driving by it, you look at it, it's hard to fathom it as a lake again until they do something about the growth. Don't know how long it's going to take, but hopefully sooner than later. All right, let me see. Susan is in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I was wondering how many of your listeners caught President Trump last night on Hannity. And, the news is still not reporting on Afghanistan. Oh, that's old news. But no, it's not old news. It's the biggest failure this country's ever witnessed. And he even left all the service dogs behind, our people behind, all our equipment, $85 billion of equipment. I've never seen such a debacle in all my life. And yet, the news is just about, the ceiling, debt ceiling, and meanwhile.
Well, let's stop for a minute. Let's explain some things here. It is unfortunately, and you remember that word now, it is unfortunately old news because everything you just said about it is old, nothing new. And there are so many other things going on that what happens with these stories is they have a certain lifespan, and as new things come along, they get replaced. Now, for many of us, Afghanistan will not go away because we'll keep bringing it up. But at some point in time, you have to have new information that would entice the news to make it news, so to speak. And so it's not that it's forgotten or anything. It's just that other things have come along. The debt ceiling at the moment, when it was first brought up, was more important because the country's financial future was at stake. So it's going to overshadow what happened a month ago. That's the nature of the beast. That's not political. That's the nature of the beast.
The news is all about the left, and I'll tell you, we have just dropped the ball on everything. Crime is run rampant. Our borders are being overrun. Inflation, we've never seen inflation like this before. I mean, since probably, the 60s. It's just, we are the laughing stock of all the countries. It's only in months. This hasn't even been a year. I hate to see what happens to our country if he is allowed. I don't understand why he's not impeached.
What's going to happen to the country is that the country will decide, and they'll begin deciding in 2022 elections. They will decide they either want to change or they don't want to change. If we have this conversation after Election Day in 2022, and the Democrats are still in office, in power in both houses of Congress, you'll have your answer. The country doesn't agree with you. If, however, they lose a Senate seat, which is all they have to lose their power, and a few House seats, which is all they have to lose their power, country will have spoken in favor of you. That's the way it works.
Yes, and his presidential rating right now, as I heard,
38.
Polls down below 38%.
Yeah.
So he's dropped rock.
Yep, and you view that. Other people don't. So you know that, Susan. You've been around this game a long time. You know politics, and you know that.
Beyond politics. Politics, yes, it's a dirty pool, but it never put our country into socialism. It never put our country at jeopardy. It never put we're just
yeah, but here's the issue though. The people voted, and they're getting what they voted for.
I agree with you there, and you want to know, but other than the fact that if you really watch all the algorithms and all the things that happened and the shenanigans at the polls, there was no way that Biden won.
Come on now. Now listen, it went through Susan, it went through 62 courts, half of them Republican judges, and they did not win a single solitary case. It's time to move on for that and move ahead to the 2022 elections if you want to see change. Living in the past will not provide any change.
No, but what scares me is the fact that it could happen again, and that we have to be very diligent, and we are trying to, everybody's saying, well, we have to change the election rules, and we have to change our voting, and we have to go back to paper ballots or whatever we need to do, and we need to get rid of all the computers, and we need to get away from all the drop. The dead voter, clean up the dead voter polls. When you've got 10,000 people in every county voting and they're all dead and they belong to a vacant lot.
Yeah. Well, Susan, let me remind you of something. Long before there was electronic voting and all these fancy machines and there was only paper, or you went into a booth, you pulled the curtain, pulled the lever. What was Chicago known for?
Coercion.
They were known for voter fraud. They had the dead voting. Well, guess what? They were doing it before these systems came along. It's got nothing to do with the system.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
Real quick, if you ever look at the Trump rallies, if you look what he's doing in the states where he even goes now, you couldn't put a toothpick between the people. And you look at what Biden's drawn in, he's got...
Yeah, okay. Problem is, rallies don't provide votes. Voters provide votes. They can pack all the rallies they want, but the votes are what counts. All right, Susan, I got to run along. Good talking to you. Thanks. Tim in Hemlock. Tim, good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks, Art. I couldn't help but call in with that last phone call. Can I say that there may be people that are still drinking a lot of Kool-Aid? The worst debacle the country has ever faced was in Afghanistan with Biden. Anybody recall Lebanon under Ronald Reagan when we lost 250 plus Marines in one bomb explosion when they housed them at a hotel? This is
well.
People,
yeah, but here's
need to know a little bit about history.
Look, there have been a lot of to me, the biggest debacle in American history was the Civil War. It had to be done, but let's face it, but the thing about this was the way it was executed. I think if you polled the country, most people, and I think the number is over 80%, agreed that we needed to be out of Afghanistan. And I'm one of those. We spent way too much time, treasure, and talent and lives in Afghanistan. It's the way it happened. You don't announce to your enemy what you're going to do and expect something different than what we got. They should have.
Who did that?
Biden did that, not Trump. No. Trump set a date, but he didn't. All right.
He signed the agreement with the Taliban out by the end of May. He said that.
Yeah, but it didn't happen, did it?
Well, he wasn't president then.
All right, but then he became president. So why did Biden do it the way he did it? Why didn't he leave what his generals recommended, a handful of troops over there to handle the situation until all Americans were out? Why didn't he follow his generals' information?
Am I the announcer or am I the caller?
I'm asking you a question.
Well, I can answer the question. Trump was the first one to pull the troops from 10,000 to 2,500. That
That's
was
right.
Imposed by the military. Then Trump wanted to remove, if you read the book Peril, in January, he wanted to remove all of the troops, and that's when Milley got involved. It got down to 2,500 troops, and Biden said, we are going to leave. When you try to extricate yourself, first of all, let's take a look at a historical example.
Well, you didn't answer my question.
Well, give it to me. I'm sorry.
My question is, why did Biden not follow the advice of his generals?
I would turn that around.
You don't turn it around. Answer it.
I want to say this to you. He wanted to get out.
I know he wanted to get out, but
we're not going to sit in a war for the next 20 years and have the same thing happen.
So why didn't he wait? Why didn't he wait until they extracted all Americans?
Okay, let's go through that scenario. You don't have an ocean behind you like you do at Dunkirk. All
Oh,
right?
come on.
No, just a minute, all right? You can't go forward, you can't cover your flanks, and you can't go backwards.
You just don't want to answer the question.
I am going to answer your question. I'm trying to give you. When Churchill got rid of or got 396,000 troops out of Dunkirk, they also sacrificed 15,000 French soldiers to hold the Germans off.
What has that got to do with Biden?
I'm trying to get.
No, you're giving me extraneous history lessons, and you're not answering the question. Why didn't he follow the advice of his generals?
I only heard that the other day, and I didn't hear the general say specifically anything different.
Oh.
You already know. Let me say this. What would happen with the last group of troops trying to get out of that Afghanistan, surrounded by the enemy? What would happen? Would some be lost? How are they going to get out of there? How do you extricate yourself from that? And secondly, Biden wanted to leave because if the Taliban, under the agreement of Trump, if we didn't leave, you know what the Taliban would have done? Started to attack our limited forces in Afghanistan. That entire government collapsed in 11 days. It was supposed to last perhaps 3 months.
I don't know. According to Biden, it was supposed to last. According to Biden, the 300 troops we trained over, 300,000 troops we trained over there were going to secure the country. That didn't happen either, did it? According to Biden.
I just said what he said. It was going to last 3 months.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, one way or another, there are still Americans left in Afghanistan. And one way or another, we got to figure out how to get them out of there.
From the signing of that treaty by Trump.
It's all Trump. I understand. It's all Trump.
Just a minute. He had time in office to get those people out. And what was after the election? The crazy fraud that you were talking about with that lady in an election that he lost. He wasn't focused on getting those people out. But yet it's all Biden's problem. Who was president until January, 21st?
Yeah. All right.
Who signed the treaty?
We'll leave it there.
Answer that question.
We'll leave it there.
All right, thanks.
Bye. All right. Look, that's what makes a horse race, folks. Don't have to agree. It's fun to talk about these things. And we all view it differently, you know. We'll get to Scott and Saginaw after we take a break, and we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
One place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370. It all started some 36 years ago, and the tradition continues. Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm on North Portsmouth Road is ready for all ages. Whether it's your first picture with a pumpkin, a chance. It's that 100th donut you're about to eat. A day at Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm is perfect fall family fun. Take the challenge with the 13-acre corn maze, or the little ones can tackle the soybean maze or the sunflower maze. The huge craft store is open with more vendors than ever. Mums, pumpkins, gourds, corn stalks, straw, and other fall decorations. A concession stand with plenty of seating all around the grounds. And of course, fresh donuts, fresh daily, cinnamon and sugar, plain or frosted, and special flavors on the weekends. Farm animals with acres and acres to wander. See the trebuchet, that huge pumpkin chucker in action on weekends, along with the kids' barrel train ride. Check out all the special events and rides every week by going to johnsonsgiantpumpkins.com or like them on Facebook. Located at 4715 North Portsmouth Road, 3 miles east of I-75 on the Caro exit. Open till Halloween. Oh, and did we say donuts?
Hello, my name is the Reverend Blake D. Strozier, and I am the senior pastor of the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist.
the Saginaw African American pastors, I am urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot for a variety of reasons. The first reason is to protect yourself. The second reason is to protect those around you. Full vaccination affords you the opportunity to reconnect with family, neighbors, church members, co-workers, and friends without fear of catching or receiving the virus. It's our shot to a sense of returning back to normalcy. So Saginaw, let's get vaccinated.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced law in mid-Michigan for over 3 decades. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned about estate planning, asset protection planning, avoiding nursing home costs, and how to save the family farm. Would you like to understand more about these topics? I'm offering 3 free e-booklets about estate planning, farm succession planning, and Medicaid planning.
Go to jerryrifelawyer.com to download any or all of the e-booklets or call 989-790-1461 to request a copy.
My e-booklet, Understanding Medicaid, describes Medicaid, Medicare, and the difference between them. If estate planning is confusing to you, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning Basics, and you'll find that it is a helpful guide for your future planning. If you have a farming operation and want to save it for future generations, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning for Farmers.
If you want any of these free e-booklets, go to jerryrifelawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 to request your free copy.
Many people are feeling overwhelmed and struggling with mental wellness these days. Call the Michigan COVID-19 hotline at 1-888-535-6136 and press 8 to talk with a Stay Well counselor. It's free and confidential. Learn.gov/staywell. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, and Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Hey, morning, Art.
Morning.
I tell you, I'm still a little dizzy after that. Holy cow. You know, I mean, if that's what well, I don't even want to get there. I wanted to talk about this administration and how they're weaponizing the DOJ against the American people. And we better wake up because they're attacking parents. They're attacking our police, healthcare workers, Border Patrol agents, teachers, and they're calling them domestic terrorists for not complying to what they want, whether it's mask mandate or the vaccine. This is what the Democratic Party calls other Americans, domestic terrorists.
Yeah,
And I think that
I hear you. The use of the DOJ, but I have to tell you this, Scott, and you know it's happened in the past with other administrations, maybe not to the degree it's happening right now. The problem with the DOJ is that the Attorney General serves at the pleasure of the president. And unless you get a truly autonomous Attorney General who is willing to do what's right for the country as opposed to what's politically fashionable, unfortunately, this is what you end up with.
right, but because I know people tried to say that Trump weaponized the DOJ. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I liked Barr. I thought what they did was good. But what I'm seeing is these people, and even Jen Psaki said it when she said, well, yeah, they're attacking civil servants, and that is against the law.
Yeah.
Woman.
Yep.
I mean, this is what they think of the American people. Look what they're doing to Kristen Sinema. No privacy there. Chase her in.
Yeah.
Who cares? If she's not going to do what we tell her to do, to heck with that woman.
Yeah.
And that's what they think of us.
Yeah. Well, I understand what you're saying, and it's built on a foundation of truth. But I'm not quite as cynical. I would hope that there's a degree of reason, and the courts would be reasonable if they ever see these cases. I shake my head at what's happening. But the reality is that every election and every president, half the country's unhappy. I just have not seen it quite to the degree it is right now. And I think you would agree that this is a unique time where we're seeing things we've never seen before.
Well, I agree. And it's too bad because I blame it on a Trump hatred. They just hate Trump. Your last caller.
Absolutely.
Question, but it was just Trump, Trump, Trump. And it's sad because a lot of Democrats said, I would rather have a potted plant than Trump in office. Well, you got a potted plant. Look what's happening.
Yeah. And the thing about it is everything that's happened so far, they go back. You listen to Biden. He's done nothing wrong. Everything is Trump's fault. COVID was Trump's fault. But he doesn't acknowledge the fact that the vaccine was developed under Trump. He won't acknowledge that. Now the fact is, and I will tell you this, in my opinion, and that's all this is, that Trump's handling of COVID-19 cost him the election. That's my personal opinion. He did not handle that well. He made some stupid statements along the way. And Trump, his mouth runs. And he made some stupid statements along the way. And I think the public reacted negatively at the polling place. That's my personal opinion. I think if he had handled COVID, exceptionally well, I think he'd still be president.
I agree. I just wish it would have been a better shake, and I'm not crying with the media. But one more thing on Afghanistan. People keep saying, why didn't Trump pull out? Well, why didn't Obama pull out? He had 8 years. Trump only had 4. And out of 4 of those years, he fought the stupid Democrats and tried not to get impeached for 3.5 of it over phony stuff.
Yeah.
So this guy did a tremendous job in lieu of what happened.
Yeah.
So, they had 8 years. Trump,
And therein lies the other side of the coin. That's what I like about it. We get both sides. Scott, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right, bye.
Take care. Bye now. And that's it. That's what makes the horse race, right? Get a call from one side, get a call from another side. It's so much fun. It really is. And again, the American public has a way historically of reacting, and they do it at the polling place. And they might do it again in 2022. History shows that it can happen. So anyway, we'll take a break, and we will be back to close out after this.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now. Medicare choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit. A customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820, MedicareChoicesInfo.com. We'll walk you through every step.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up. Earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit Fuel Rewards and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go Forward.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Fat Matt's Barbecue, Uplift Creative Center, Frankenmuth Corn Maze, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Goodbye, summer. Hello, fall. Yes, it is that time of year again to think about preparing for the cold winter months ahead. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning would like to take a moment to remind homeowners to schedule a fall heating system checkup before it gets too cold. System check is more than just a quick look. A complete system check involves the right kind of testing equipment and tools and the experience and knowledge to perform the tests. You can rely on the professionals at Reamer for a complete system clean and check. Fall is also a good time to have your sump pump checked and replaced if it's over 4 years old. With all the crazy rainstorms and power outages we're experiencing, a battery or water-powered backup pump is also a good idea. Call the professionals at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning today to schedule a heating system tune-up and sump pump check. Winter is just around the corner. Find Reamer on their website, reamerplumbing.com, or call 792-8738.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
All right, we're going to take leave. Thanks for being with us today. The Art Lewis Show tomorrow, Saturday edition, 9 o'clock from Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm. We'll be talking to Dick Graining from Neck to Line Watch and Clock about watch and clock collecting, a big hobby, actually. A lot of people enjoy it. Pocket watches, clocks, all that stuff. He can also help you with the watch and clock repair to find the things that are worth repairing. News coming up next. Then we'll be back with Focus. And on Focus today, we're going to talk about a company called Great Gifts. Fairly new, a little less than a year old. We're going to find out what Great Gifts is all about. CBS News and the local reporter next, though, and then we'll be back to chat with you on Focus right after the news. Talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A disappointing showing in the jobs market. Employers added just 100 positions in September, much less than the modest 336,000 the month before. And it's not that many weren't trying to hire. Conchetta Iovino owns the CNC Hair Salon in Kingston, New York.
I have a salon of 40 chairs, and I'm operating on 25.
Bank rates Mark Hamrick.
The labor force participation rate, that measures those working or looking for work, depressed 61.6%. Some have thought the end of pandemic employment benefits would bring a rush of potential workers back into the equation. We're not seeing that, not yet.
The unemployment rate fell sharply to 4.8 from 5.2% in August. Many healthcare professionals are leaving their jobs. Correspondent Jonathan Bigliotti visited a COVID ward in Idaho, where only half of eligible patients are vaccinated.
St. Alphonsus has lost 50% of its entire staff since COVID began, mostly due to burnout.
We do often get family members berating us up.
Charge nurse Alicia Luciani has had enough. Today is her last day in the ward.
What's going on in your mind right now? There's just so many of them. I put more people in body bags over the last 2 years than I have in the last 9. It's hard.
CBS News has learned former President Trump will invoke executive privilege in a congressional investigation into the January 6th attack. And he's instructed former allies not to comply either. Correspondent Nicole Killian from Capitol Hill.
The Select Committee wants these former Trump aides to appear for depositions next week. Former president tells CBS News the committee's request is outrageously broad and lacks precedent and merit.
That same congressional committee claims Mr. Trump's businesses tried to hide millions of dollars in payments from foreign governments that flowed through his hotel in Washington, D.C. A federal judge has stepped in to block anti-abortion laws in Montana. One bans the procedure after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Harder to get abortion pills, and the third requires providers to ask patients if they want to see ultrasounds. Loyola Law School's Lori Levinson.
Planned Parenthood had argued that the Montana law violated the Montana Constitution and the right of privacy granted to women under it. We can expect that similar challenges will be brought to state laws across the country.
This is CBS News. Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced law in mid-Michigan for over 3 decades. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned about estate planning, asset protection planning, avoiding nursing home costs, and how to save the family farm. Would you like to understand more about these topics? I'm offering 3 about estate planning, farm succession planning, and Medicaid planning.
To get your free e-booklet, go to jerryriflawyer.com to download any or all of the e-booklets or call 989-790-1461 to request a copy.
My e-booklet, Understanding Medicaid, describes Medicaid, Medicare, and the difference between them. If estate planning is confusing to you, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning Basics, and you'll find that it is a helpful guide for your future planning. If you have a farming operation and want to save it for future generations, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning for Farmers.
If you want any of these free e-booklets, go to jerryriflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 to request your free copy.
Service. It's hard to find these days. M&R Garage Door has built their business on it. M&R Garage Door has been taking care of their customers in the Tri-Cities. M&R can repair any brand garage door or opener, including all residential and industrial doors. Call them today for all your service needs. M&R has garage doors and openers for every style and every budget. Call M&R Garage Door at 989-894-0971 for all of your garage door and opener needs. 989-894-0971.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And
Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. It really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 68 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Quick note to pass along to you this morning. Saginaw City Fire has responded to the 700 block of Cooper for a possible fire. Again, the Saginaw City Fire is on the scene in the 700 block of Cooper for a possible fire. If you're in the area, please try to find another route to give emergency responders room to work. Governor Gretchen Whitmer on Thursday announced the state of Michigan will require state contractors and subcontractors to pay prevailing wage for construction projects. The move reinstates the prevailing wage requirement, which was repealed in June 2018, and ensures any construction worker working on a project receives a fair wage. The announcement was criticized by the Associated Builders and Contractors of Michigan that primarily funded a ballot initiative that enabled lawmakers to rescind the law, despite then-Governor Rick Snyder's objections. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is announcing charges in a case involving law enforcement in Isabella County. On April 12, 2020, Sergeant Christopher Cluley was working in the Isabella County Jail as the administrator in charge when he interacted with an inmate during a cell transfer. Video evidence shows Cluley pushed the inmate to the ground, where the inmate cried out in pain upon crashing to the floor. Cluley is charged with 2 counts of misconduct in office, 5-year felonies, and 1 count of aggravated assault, a 1-year misdemeanor. The computer chip shortage that's cost the big 3 automakers billions will be affecting more workers next week. Ford will stop production at the Flat Rock assembly plant where the Mustang is built. Some production at Ford's Kansas City and Kentucky plants will also be. General Motors says production of some Cadillac cars will resume Monday at the Lansing Grand River assembly plant, but a plant in Mexico where Chevy Blazer is made will be shut down until at least next Friday. WSGW News Time 11:07.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. 18 former NBA players were officially charged Thursday by federal prosecutors for their part in a scheme that defrauded the league's health and benefits plan out of $4 million. The scheme saw those players, including former Piston Will Bynum and former Michigan State Spartans Shannon Brown and Alan Anderson, reimbursed by NBA officials starting in 2017 for medical procedures that they claim they underwent but never did. Prosecutors confirmed 16 of those 18 former players today. It's October 8th, and we're recognizing National Pierogi Day. Here's Connie Kalamazzo, owner of Lila's Pierogi in Livonia.
A pierogi is a Polish dumpling that you can fill with anything. It's like a wrapped dough. It's like the Polish ravioli, I guess you would say.
Kalamazzo says the strangest filling she's ever come across is spinach and artichoke. Michigan is urging residents of Benton Harbor to use bottled water for cooking and drinking, a major shift in response to elevated levels of lead. The state has been making free bottled water and filters available in Benton Harbor for a few weeks, but the announcement Wednesday is the first time that authorities have recommended residents reduce their use of tap water. The state last month said it would go door to door to distribute filters. The state says the federal government is conducting a study to determine how effective the filters are in reducing lead in drinking water. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy today, areas of showers and a few thunderstorms. High of 73. Chance of showers and storms tonight, low near 61. High of 75 on Saturday. Mainly cloudy. Chance of rain. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Low near 62. High of 79 on Sunday. Mainly cloudy. A few sunny breaks. Strong south winds. Sunday night, mainly cloudy. Low near 66. High of 81 on Columbus Day. Lots of clouds. A few sunny breaks. Monday night, cloudy. Chance of rain. Low near. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with a WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 67.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. Focus here on WSGW. We are hoping for a call from Angie Clappish-Widmer from a new store called Great Gifts that opened in November of last year. Amy is also the co-owner of Dive and Glide with her husband, Andy Widmer. And we're hoping we hear from her so we can find out about Great Gifts, which opened on November 21st of 2020. They're an outlet for local crafters and artists to show and sell their Michigan handmade items. Family owned and operated. They have almost 100, this surprised me, over 100 vendors with items currently available in the shop. So if we hear from Amy, we will get her on as quickly as we can. Meantime, since we're talking about deals and things of that nature, maybe we'll take a peek at Rocket Grab Plus, and see what's on the fair for this week at rocketgrabplus.com. And this week, the biggie is the Big E's Sports Grill gift certificate, a $25 gift certificate for $12.50. They're open Monday to Friday, 4 to 10 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, noon to 10 p.m. Head to Big E's and check out their 2 patios for outdoor dining. They have 30 beers on tap, including the Moose New Country Ale from our sister station. And for dinner, you can try their half-pound prime Angus burgers, hand-tossed pizzas, including cauliflower crust for any gluten-sensitive patrons, and their newly famous nacho, big enough for 2. You might want to share or you might not want to share. Again, it's a $25 gift certificate for $12.50. So you can take advantage of that at rocketgrabplus.com, and that will give you a great deal. Also, we have a family pack to the Frankenmuth Corn Maze. It's a $36 value for $18. You grab a family pack for the Corn Maze. It includes 2 adults and 2 children admissions for entry to the Corn Maze, and it runs through October 31st. 7 to 10 p.m. on Fridays, noon to 10 p.m. Saturdays, noon to 7 p.m. on Sundays. It's a gigantic corn maze. It's actually 3 mazes in one. The red, white, and blue maze, the courtyard games to play. There's farm animals. There's a petting zoo. Lots of family fun. Again, a $36 gift certificate for only $18. The Frankenmuth Corn Maze. Next up, for a party of 4, it's called Uplift. It's $50 for a party of 4, including 2 adults and 2 youth, for a tie-dye session at Uplift Creative Center in Midland or Bay City. A $100 value, and it is yours for only $50. Uplift Creative Center is a place where you come in and be creative in so many ways, from learning how to tie-dye, acrylic, and resin painting parties, soap making, crochet, knitting, and so much more. Event hosting, private parties is a unique place to shop for anyone on your gift list. Uplift is the name. It's a $100 certificate for only $50 on rocketgrabplus.com, where you sign up for Rocket Grab Plus, and you remember, if you were on the old Rocket Grab site, your identification is no longer valid, so you have to re-sign on Rocket Grab Plus. But it works exactly the same way. You'll get a text when there are new items, and you decide whether you want to buy it or not. It costs nothing to register on Rocket Grab Plus. All right, time to give away a little money. WSGW's Fall into Cash contest, presented by Herman Hiss and Company in downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the Gaily Cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is MAP, M-A-P. Remember the days when you had a paper map to follow? It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. 1 winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company on WSGW. And we will be back with more after these notes.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years, but I To make cleaning your nose easy, Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
If you've got a small business, you know there's nothing more valuable than your time. So, Stamps.com makes it easy to mail and ship right from your computer. No special equipment required. Whether you're an office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. You'll even get exclusive discounts on postage and shipping from USPS and UPS. And their new Rate Advisor tool lets you compare shipping rates across carriers so you always find the best option. Save time and money with Stamps.com. There's no risk, and when you go to Stamps.com and use offer code FOCUS, you'll receive a 4-week free trial plus free postage and a digital scale. Or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com. Click on the microphone at the top and enter code FOCUS. That's Stamps.com, promo code FOCUS. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains. By the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
On air and on Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking about RocketGrabPlus.com, which you find on your electronic devices, if you will. For those of you watching me on the various streams, I have my iPad Pro up on RocketGrabPlus.com, where I can tell you about the various deals. For example, from the Hampton Spawn Boutique, we have a number of different certificates. We have a Versa Spa Spray Tan for $17.50. That's a $35 value. We have an infrared sauna for $7.50. That's a $15 value. We have a KBL level and tanner for $16.50, a $33 value. And a boutique certificate, $20 certificate for $10. All from the Hampton Boutique and Spa. There you go. From Auburn, Joyce's Purple Palette, we have a $25 certificate for $12.50. And it's good for any of their awesome classes. They have all kinds of arts and craft classes. And you buy 2 of these certificates, you get a free gift from Joyce. They host a variety of different classes on site. You can decorate your own cornhole boards, planters, benches, signs, and more. Drop-ins are welcome. They also do private parties for birthdays, bachelorette parties, you name it, on site or at your location. They're located in the Auburn Plaza. All products in the store, including the paint, are made in the USA. Many of them right here in Michigan. So there you go. A $25 certificate for only $12.50. Here's a certificate to King's Fish and More in Saginaw, a $20 certificate for only $10. And they're open Tuesday through Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., Thursday, Saturday, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Chef-prepared food at low economical prices, delicious soul foods available. Some of their specialties include the Eddie King Burger, deep-fried Cajun turkey, spicy or mild, smothered turkey over rice, turkey knuckles, southern-raised catfish, tacos, nachos, quesadillas, tamales, turkey, chicken, or beef, spicy or mild, Philly steak or chicken and cheese, bluegill, African whitey, tilapia, cod, jumbo shrimp, and more. And they also cater. Again, Kingfish and More, a $20 gift certificate for only $10. Lastly, 4 hot dogs from Woody's Hot Dogs in Saginaw, $10 value, only $5. And that's what's happening on RocketGrabPlus.com. And again, all you have to do is go to RocketGrabPlus.com and sign up. Cost you nothing. You'll get notification of all the deals. And if you like them, you want to buy one, take care of that transaction. That's the only thing it costs you is the price of the certificate. There is never a charge to sign up on RocketGrabPlus.com. So there you go. And we will take a break, come back. When we come back, we'll find out about the marketplace with Baird and Company.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself. Guidelines and regulations changing by the week. You need an accurate thermometer for your family to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Can't afford a solar generator right now? Enter our solar generator giveaway. No purchase necessary. Winner will be announced November 1st. Enter to win today at mysolarbackup.com.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. Who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Have you recently tested positive for COVID-19? You may be eligible for monoclonal antibody therapy, a treatment which could reduce your risk of hospitalization and death. If you are in a high-risk group and have had symptoms for less than 10 days, talk to your healthcare provider about this no-cost treatment. To learn more about COVID-19 antibody therapy, go to michigan.gov/COVID therapy. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, welcome back. Let me ask, how'd you sleep last night? You know, today we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, theoretically, you spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home, which means you don't have to wait around all day for them. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport, or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. And that'll do us for today. Waiting for a call from Steve Anderson from Baird & Company to find out what the markets are doing. So we will pass that on to Farm Director Terry Henney. And we will be back tomorrow from Johnson's Giant Pumpkins. Talk to you then. Dick Graining at 9 o'clock to help you with watching clock collecting all ahead. For now, have yourself a great day. Terry Henney's next.
Hey, everybody, this is W.